Hi, good morning everybody. It's Anna here and I'm going to be taking you through the addition and subtraction progression from year 1 to year 6, so both key stages. The materials I've chosen this morning are from White Rose Maths, as across the 3 schools we tend to use this resource, and it's a really great way of showing how important the concrete resources are and how the different ways that we can show the children how to use them. So, moving through, our outcomes for today are to have a look at the concrete resources, maybe build a toolkit that you could have with you in school. We're going to look at addition skills. Okay, so as an introduction, the toolkit I just previously mentioned, here are some things that you could have readily available for the children you are working with. So part whole models, bar models, single and multiple will be really useful. Numicon, multi-link cubes, tens frames, double-sided counters, the red and the yellow plain ones for your tens frames, bead strings, number lines, 100 squares, base 10 Ordines, and the place value counters are really useful as well. So grab yourself a pack of those. All teachers have them, so ask if you can have your own pack maybe, and then grab all that together, and it'll be really useful for any lesson you're going to complete on addition and subtraction. Okay, so how we're moving through. So looking at year 1 first of all, adding 1-digit numbers within 10, and you can see on the screen there, again taken from the calculation policy, all the different ways that we can represent 4 add 3 equals 7. So using the part whole models, using the multi-link, using the double-sided counters, we've got bar models there, some abstract writing for when they are ready, Numicon, tens frames, and number lines as well, pre-made number lines, really useful, okay, to show how they jump on, and then some beads frames as well, okay. But the children in year 1 should get really used to representing different numbers in this way and in as many ways, visual ways as they can, and actually holding the apparatus, holding the concrete apparatus, touching it, seeing it. Okay, so it says when adding numbers to 10, children can explore both aggregation and augmentation. Okay, so forming numbers together in a cluster, okay, seeing how when we do make those clusters, the number actually gets bigger. So the part whole model, discrete and continuous bar model, number shapes and 10 frames support aggregation, and the combination bar model, 10 frame, bead string and number track all support augmentation. Okay, so there's year 1. Really visual, lots of things to hold on to, lots of things to see, lots of things to draw, okay, building up that number sense all the time. Okay, moving forward now into year 2, but still you'll see a lot of the representations from year 1 as well, as we begin to introduce the skill of adding a 1 and a 2-digit number. Okay, so again you can see part whole models, bar models, the use of straws to see how we have the 10 and we combine the 10 and the 1s separately. You can see here we're beginning to use our number bonds a lot more, so the 8 adds 7 equals 15. You can see that the 7 has been partitioned into 2 and a 5 so that they can recognise 8 and 2 quickly to make the 10 and then add on the 5 separately. Again, that's demonstrated on the number line there. So starting with the largest number, jumping on 2 and then jumping on the 5 separately. Again, demonstrated with the tens frame, and then beginning to write some abstract where you see them writing down there how they've partitioned the 7 into 2 and 5, a skill that's going to help them all the way through. Okay, so when adding 1-digit numbers that cross 10, it is important to highlight the importance of 10 1s equaling 110. Different manipulatives can be used to represent this exchange. So, like we said, bringing in the use of number lines to partition the jump, okay, jumping in slightly larger numbers than just one this time. Okay, and all these strategies here as well, they all link to adding 3 one-digit numbers as well. Okay, so moving forward, when adding single digits to a 2-digit number, children should always be encouraged to count on from the larger number. So as we all know, they tried to go back and count every single number, so encouraging them to find the largest number first. Okay, we've got the introduction of 100 square here. Okay, and clusters of straws, again to show the tens and the ones, before moving on to your deans or your base 10, where that's demonstrated with the one single stick. Okay, seeing how the straws are combined to make 10 is really useful for that visual, those children that need the visual support. Okay, 100 squares and straws can support children to find the number bonds to 10. So again, encouraging them, 38 add 5 equals 43, encouraging them to jump to the next multiple of 10 to 41st, and then the 3. Okay, lots of similar strategies you can see, but it's great if they see it in every single year group. Okay, year 2 to 3, at this stage, encourage children to use the formal column method when calculating, alongside, again, these pictorial representations, as we have been doing. Just move myself over there. Okay, so children can also use a blank number line to count on to find the total. Encourage them to jump to multiples of 10, just like we said before. Okay, and you can see at the bottom the representations with the deans, okay, and the place value counters about how we exchange that 10. Okay, understanding that when we do add the 8 and the 3 together, it's 11, so that's a 10 and a 1. Really understanding that process of how we move on to that abstract. What does it mean? Where does that 10 then go? Okay, making sure when we do begin to write the abstract down that the place value is really, really clear. I would always say to write on squared paper so they can see the 10s and the 1s column. Okay, year 3 here, so again, much of the same, although we're moving on to 3-digit numbers, but would still always show the part whole and the bar model. Okay, introducing some missing numbers now for the challenge. Okay, but again, place value, really, really important to complete the work with the deans, with the place value counters, and write the abstract next to it. Okay, it says ensure children write out their calculation alongside any concrete resources so they can see the link between the practical and the abstract. Okay, it's very clear again how we make that exchange and we add it into the hundreds column. Okay, adding numbers with up to 4 digits, exactly the same here. Base 10 and place value counters are the most effective concrete resources when adding numbers up to 4 digits. So again, you can see the movement, the exchanges really clearly of how we've had to add those on. Okay, I like on this one how they have used the squared paper to show the thousands, hundreds, tens and ones column, and again get the children to write it at the top so they're using that language when they're discussing or explaining how they've worked out their method. Okay, and again you can see it really clearly where they're working out in case any errors have been made. Okay, year 5 again, however we're moving on to adding up to 3 decimal places this time. Okay, just like all the other addition work they've done, they'll be able to see that the strategies are really similar. Okay, so place value counters and plain counters on a place value grid are really effective manipulatives when adding decimals with 1, 2 and 3 decimal places. Okay, so you can see from the red counters at the bottom, it doesn't always have to be the ones that are printed on. Again, you can write on them with whiteboard pens, but the use of these charts, again, really, really effective. And having these charts up on your working wall or in a little room if you're working with a small group, again, where you can actually move the numbers for them and they can visualize it. Again, another really good strategy to use. Okay, so to ensure children have experience of adding decimals with a variety of decimal places, this includes putting it into context when adding money and again other measures. Okay, so putting it into real life problems, real life experiences for the children. Okay, so again, exactly the same here. Use of place value counters on the place value grid. Okay, we've still got part whole, we've still got bar models, we've still got the missing numbers. Okay, and again, squared paper, making sure that the place values are really, really clear. At this stage, children should be encouraged to work in the abstract using the column method to add larger numbers efficiently. But again, number formation, everything, even year 5 and 6, needs to be really picked up on so that they make their working out really clear and don't make simple errors.
Thank you very much for watching Anna's first session with a big focus on addition there. Her second video focusing on subtraction will be up later on in the week. So thank you very much for watching. I've put my email address on here as usual to email me with any questions, and please don't forget to complete the form as usual.